This video is going to be so painful to edit. But I guess that's what I get for being lazy. Anyways, hi and welcome, and something you may not know about me is that I used to, basically do K-pop journaling. My account used to be saftrades. Now it's basically, it has the same name as this channel, so I'm not really doing journaling anymore, but I am good at calligraphy. So, how this video is going to work? Basically, I will make a journal spread about my goals, because that's what I do best. So, yeah, it's going to be really editing heavy, so yeah, just be ready for that. I used to really be into stationery, now this is everything I own, so collecting K-pop photocards really destroyed me. Anyways, this right here is kind of my personal planner, but I don't really use it because my life is a mess, so we're gonna use it today to make my, how do I call it? Collection plans. Collection goals. Yes, that's how I call it. Well, I kinda do have some goals in mind that I want to focus on. Let me take my laptop. Okay, so lovely. I do have a card made, and there you can see my, kinda goals. But this spread is going to be better, so yeah. Anyways, on my card I made kinda two sections. 2021 collection goals and rules for collecting. I'm gonna go over both of them while making this spread, so let's get started. Let me see if everything is in frame. Haven't done this in a while. So, collection goals. I thought about this a lot. Watch me be bad at calligraphy now. Or make a typo. I did it. Nase. Not me casually saying 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝗋 instead of never mind. Okay, fun. Collection. Let's call it goals. Goals. The sun is going down, and that's not nice. Actually, today is the first day of winter, I believe, which means the day is basically the shortest it will ever be this year. Yeah, I know how to choose my filming days. One day I was really bored, and I was like, what if I printed 50 of the same butterfly emoji sticker? This was the result. So yeah, if we are trading and you want a butterfly sticker, please let me know, because I have a lot of them. And it's really satisfying to cut them out. Kind of helps me deal with my problems. It's nice. I love it. That was kind of oversharing. Never mind. Should I put it here or should I put it here? I feel like this fits better. Haven't done this in a while, oh my god. And this works. Basically, what I wanted to talk about. Collection goals. My main goal for this year would be, for the next year, it's not this year, would be to stick to only collecting TXT and 𝗁𝗁𝗍. If you watched my previous video, you would know that I planned on collecting 𝗺𝗀𝗋 as well. And, well, nothing has really changed. I still love 𝗺𝗀𝗋 a lot. They're my female alts, and I would love to own their... Oh my god, why is English so complicated? And I would love to own their albums, but that's a little bit too much for me as of right now, and I will just, for the next year, want to stick to collecting TXT and 𝗁𝗁𝗍, because, well, that's kind of my personality thing. I like seeing progress. If I'm not seeing progress, I get demotivated really easily, and that's really not good, because I will basically stop collecting, and I don't want that, because this hobby is really making me happy, so I would like to continue doing it. But I need constant motivation to continue doing something which is basically making progress. So, yes, I only see myself collecting TXT and 𝗺𝗺𝗀 by the end of the year. Yes, you are allowed to screen record this, or just, mark it in the comments and call me a clown if I pick up another group this year. But yeah. Anyways, my next goal is to complete Border Day 1 before the next comeback. Now, how I'm collecting 𝗺𝗺𝗀, you may be wondering. I'm only collecting their Korean albums, like both versions, and I'm collecting 𝗺𝗀𝗀's photocards, but I'm not collecting them in a way where I'm collecting all 6 of them, because you get 2 photocards per album and you have 2 versions, meaning that you have to get 3 copies of the album to pull enough cards for basically a member set. If you want to cross trade. If you don't want to cross trade, you have to either buy 2 cards or buy 2 more versions of the album, which basically 𝗺𝗫𝗀 what the hell. So yeah, this is my wish list basically. You can see it on the screen hopefully, if I'm not too lazy to edit it. But yeah, I do yeah. Okay, so I said that I want to stick to only collecting TXT and 𝗺𝗺𝗀. Wait, let me write it here. But I haven't said anything about picking up other idols from those groups. So kinda the only idol that I'm allowed to pick up for collecting, besides the ones that I'm already collecting, Kim Sonu. Nicki is my first bias in 𝗺𝗺𝗀, but then we have Kim Sonu, and I love Sonu a lot. He's amazing. He's my favorite vocalist in the group, and one of my favorites from Ireland. Basically, the whole lineup the whole 𝗺𝗺𝗀 lineup is basically just my favorites from Ireland, which I couldn't be happier about. Hanbin. Oh, Hanbin solo debut. That would be so nice. He's on Twitter now. Oh my god, stick to the topic. Yes, so basically, hear me out. Oh, I have to focus on writing. This is so hard. Oh my god, already 10 minutes. Stick to only collecting TXT and 𝗺𝗺𝗀. Anyways, I kinda did some calculations, and I figured that if I get 3 sets of the albums, meaning 6 albums, you get the right amount of cards to collect 2 members. Hear me out. Getting 3 sets of albums just to pull cards is insane. But where I live, you can basically sell the albums without the cards for a decent value, and it's not much of a problem, honestly, getting 3 sets of albums and selling the rest, the other 2 sets without the inclusions. And for 𝗺𝗺𝗀, they did those postcards, which I only need my biases for, and I could either sell the others, and it's not a problem. So if I have the money and I'm completely on top of my other wish lists, not including the Taehyun album, because that's going to be a little bit complicated, but we'll get into that later. And if I'm on top of Taehyun album, Hyunin Kai album, Subin album, and Nicki album, I can kinda start working on Sonu album, because the thing with 𝗺𝗺𝗀 cards is how I would store them in my binder. This is the idea I have basically, and I really like it. I think it's really nice. So that's kind of motivating me to collect 2 members for 𝗺𝗺𝗀. But we'll see about that. I don't see myself doing that in the first half of the year. So yeah. The other goal that I'm so bad with writing things while talking. I'm sorry, this video is a mess. Every video of mine is a mess, but this one is especially a mess. So that was it for the 𝗃𝗃 plan, and for TXT I want to complete Minnesota 1 Blue Hour before the next comeback, which is not hard because as of right now I'm only missing 3 cards and I have 1 card up for trade. It's this 𝗃𝗀𝗀 VR photo card, and if you have any of the cards that I'm still missing, please DM me. My priority is trading for that 𝘂𝗵𝗶𝗀 VR version photo card, but if you have any of these, please DM me. And yeah, I think that's manageable. I think I can complete Minnesota 1 Blue Hour before the next comeback, because according to my calculations, we're not supposed to get a Korean comeback before April, which I believe is enough time to complete it, so yeah, basically I think that's manageable. My phone ran out of storage. Love to see it, honestly, it's amazing. I'm doing great. Anyways, so what I was saying, basically I have Taehyun's Korean album inclusions completed. I'm only missing 1 card and that card is on the way, so that's nice. Then what we have after that, we have his non-album wishlist, and the thing with his non-album wishlist is that I don't plan on collecting every single non-album card that he has, because it's too much, honestly. I'm not willing to go through that. So what I will do is basically get all of the cards that I really like. And the cards that I'm talking about are right here on this wishlist. I am also thinking about the round 1 lucky draws from Minnesota. I mean, it's just literally the concept photo cards, but I kinda like them, but they're really expensive, so I don't know, that's something I have to think about more. So yeah, basically by the end of the year be up to date with Taehyun's non-album wishlist. Now, I think my plans and goals currently are really realistic and achievable. And something that I kind of have to say is that I really want to try my best and stay on top of the Korean album photo cards for all of the idols that I'm currently collecting, meaning Taehyun, Soobin, Hyunin Kai, and Nicki, which, as I said, I think it's really realistic and achievable, so that's nice. Now, something that is not really collection related, but something that I would really like to own is, not really own, which is kind of a goal of mine, to get the digital 𝗺 membership. 𝗺 membership is everything. I really want it. I really want to have the access to the membership only content, to be able to get into raffles for things like broadcast cards and something. Generally, I think it's a nice investment, and I want to get the digital 𝗺 membership. The reason why I don't want to get the kit, unless there are photo cards, is because I live in Serbia, and Viver Shop either does not ship here, or the shipping cost is $80, which I'm not willing to pay, so that's why I would get the digital 𝗺 membership. My next goal is get a signed TXT album. Now, this is where things get kind of more complicated. You see, one album that I would absolutely love to have a signed version of is the Dream Chapter Eternity. I just love that album so much, the Eternity era concepts and everything. It's just my everything, and the way they signed the port version of the album with a silver marker, all the autographs are so neat and everything is so perfect, and I really want an Eternity signed album. But they go for around $150, which is not insane, and I could possibly like get it during the like year 2021, so it's a goal of mine. But what is also a goal of mine is to do a group order for the next TXT comeback and apply for fan signs. Now, how I would like name that goal is do group orders for TXT and _hypen comebacks plus apply for fan signs. That's what I will write here, and that's what it's written on my card. Next, we have figure out how 𝘃𝗃𝗃 and 𝘃𝗀𝗀𝗃 and Korean addresses work, because collecting right now for me is kinda a bit more expensive than it could be if I used 𝘃𝗃𝗃 and 𝘃𝗀𝗀𝗃, and I'm completely lost and I have no idea how those work. So that's something I have to figure out during the next year. So that's nice. Next we have finish Taehyun mini PC collection. When I say that, I mean the FanLive photocards. Now, I love FanLive photocards. Like, concept-wise, I think they're kind of ugly, but on kind of a couple of sets of his FanLive photocards, there's a typo, and instead of Taehyun, it's Taehyun, and I think it's hilarious, and I want it. So yeah, I think it's a nice concept, like owning the FanLive and tour cards, so I would like to collect them, but it's really not a priority of mine. I would not be willing to pay more than like $6 for a photo card, and they tend to go from like $6 to $10, so yeah, there's something to figure out when it comes to that, but it's fine. Also, one other thing, I'm not collecting non-album for _hypen, and if you see me posting Nicki non-album wishlists on saftrades, you saw nothing. Like, you basically saw nothing. Pretend that doesn't exist. Amazing. But no, really, I don't want to collect non-album for _hypen, because I'm really struggling even with Taehyun non-album, and collecting non-album for another group or another idol, it's a little bit too much for me. Maybe in the future, but no. I initially planned on collecting Japanese cards for Taehyun, but I dropped that idea because it's too much for me, because Japanese cards are mostly just pre-order benefits and first press cards. So, if I ever see a card for a good price, I might buy it. But I'm not gonna like actively look for Japanese cards. So that's why in my like who I collect highlight on Instagram you can see like collecting selected Japanese photo cards. Because in fact I am collecting selected Japanese photo cards. I'm just not actively looking for them. So yeah, basically I was just talking and I wasn't writing anything. Never mind, I will do a time lapse and write everything down. Good old journaling days, Sophia. Good old journaling days. The chaos chapter, basically. You see, how if you're not that familiar with TXT, like discography, let me explain to you. Their first debut album was the Dream Chapter Star. Then we have their first comeback, the Dream Chapter Magic. After that, we have the Dream Chapter Eternity, and that was the Dream Chapter Trilogy, to be more precise. Then we had Minisode 1 Blue Hour, which is like an ad break because it's not related to the storyline. It's just a fun little story told by the TXT members. And it's Minisode 1, which is kind of implying that there is Minisode 2, which I think is a cool concept because, hear me out, what they could do is the Dream Chapters, Minisode 1, the Chaos Chapters, Minisode 2, and then they go with their next series. I think it's really interesting, I think it's really creative, and if that is the case, Big Hit creative team, I love you. It's so interesting to me. Basically, during the MMA performance this year, they spoiled the Chaos Chapter, which I believe is the name of the trilogy. I hope so, because it's really interesting. So they might go back to the storyline, which might mean that TU cards are back. What are TU cards, you may be wondering if you're not a TXT collector. Basically, the concept of TU cards is that they are like a keyring have the little hole at the top, and they have a message. Now, the message is different for every member, and it's related to the storyline. It's like a hint on what's happening in the storyline, basically. And it's, as I said, specific for every member. So what I kind of thought about was collecting OT5 for TU cards, because I'm such a fan of the TU idea. Like, I love the universe a lot. I do have a Notion dedicated only to, like, TU analysis. So if you're ever willing to talk about TU with me, just DM me. I'm literally always willing to talk about TU, so that's nice. But yeah, I kind of do have the idea of collecting TU cards OT5 because they're not expensive, like they're really cheap. You can find them for really cheap. So that's just something I'm thinking about. Yeah. And for the first quarter of the year, I will be on a buying hiatus because future TXT comeback, which might happen like a couple of months after their Japanese comeback, Still Dreaming, then I have to get Border Day 1 because I still don't have _Enhypen's debut album. And like their comeback, oh my god, their debut was November 30th, which might mean that they can possibly make a comeback around the same time as TXT do. So I have to do a lot of money saving, so unless you have a really, really, really high priority card of mine, please don't offer me anything. And basically, I will try my best not to buy anything because money. Now enjoy the time lapse of me writing everything down. So that's nice. Okay, so basically that was everything for this video. It was a mess, but I hope it was entertaining for you, and if you enjoyed watching it, please subscribe or give it a like. So see you in the next video. Bye!